2019 Mountain Dew GSL Season 3 Codex Reversal.
Welcome back, everyone. It's time to decide who will move on. It's one of the only two spots remaining in the round of 8. It's either going to be Ragnarok or Zest. Artosis predictions on fire today.
Yeah, generally. Either in the good way or the bad way. Yeah, so between these two, I definitely side with Ragnarok. I wouldn't be surprised if Zest is able to take him out. He has some games to look at from Ragnarok to be like, okay, I kind of get some of the ideas that you're going for.
It's always a funny thing when we have group stages and there's 3 of one race and then 1 of another. Because that person that, like in this case Ragnarok, it's just Zerg. All he had to do was prep ZVP and have a wide range of different ways to approach the matchup.
Yeah. Whereas, looking at Zest here, he never really goes to late game. You don't want to right now anyways, so I guess that's fine. But yeah, you look at this, that's a couple macro maps to open. So is he going to be able to hit some sharp timings that can hurt Ragnarok? We did see Classic win on King's Cove, so let's see what Zest has got.
Okay, our game has loaded up. Ragnarok for Zest. Again, the winner goes on to the round of 8 of the GSL. We're almost there.
Chivo Ragnarok.
A lot of Ragnarok fans in the audience today.
We're going to end on 3999 tonight, aren't we? Are we? Yeah. Loser in final match.
Ocean Gaming. Zest.
Tuesday. Where will you be
Well,
when the number hits 4,000?
Exactly right here.
Yeah,
next
holding
to
my
you.
hand.
Yeah, on Tuesday.
Single tear coming down my face. Big numbers amaze me, Artosis.
Yeah. When they line up like that.
Yeah.
And the thing is, we
4
have
and
10
3
fingers
zeros.
on our hands, and that's why we count in base 10. So, I mean, that's why this is an important number. Makes sense.
Oh, good Zergling.
Ling can't stop.
So, yeah, let's see what Zest wants to do here. It's going to be some... Oh, it's his birthday?
Is it? Oh, no, it was on the 3rd. That
Look
is
at that.
actually my new
One of
baby's
those-
birthday, the 3rd. He stole my baby's birthday.
Yeah, well, you can't have 2 people born on the same day.
No, not in this close a relation.
Yeah.
There's only 1 degree of artosis separating them.
Yeah. It's good to see those stuffed animals are enjoying StarCraft.
Yeah. Stuffed animals definitely like StarCraft.
Definitely.
They're the quietest when I put it on in the house.
That's why when I'm, not casting a tournament, I make sure to get all my stuffed animals out and we have tea parties while we watch the games.
Yeah. Gives you something to cuddle.
Mm-hmm.
You can tell them your predictions that are generally wrong and they won't call you on it. You want to try co-casting with them sometime. Well, sorry, you did co-cast with Jake, actually. He's basically just a giant teddy bear.
Yeah, he is. Now, we're still waiting. We don't know what exactly the Protoss is going to do. We know there's probably going to be some type of timing attack. The difficulty for the Zerg is you don't know which one. And each type of timing attack requires a different way to handle it.
Yeah, he's getting Overlord speed, and there's a Twilight on the way, so that's going to be good for him. We'll see if this is a DT-based Archon drop, or if it's just straight up some Twilight upgrade. Can't talk quite yet, but we shall see as it finishes. It'd be interesting if he goes into the Dark Archon drop, just because, again, we haven't really seen Archon drop since the patch. Here we go.
Okay, Dark Shrine, it is scouted.
Yeah. I think that this is actually a pretty good build for the map, just generally speaking. It puts some pressure onto your opponent, even if they see it coming. It is still an Archon drop. It'll do a little bit. You have to be a little bit more careful now, obviously, with the pickup range reduced. But I feel like the best way, in my opinion at least, the way that I like to see DT-based Archon drops play out is taking a 3rd base, lots of Immortal production, and not getting into Psystorm. Just like a very strong charge Archon Immortal army, with some sentries obviously thrown in there. But I feel like that's a very strong way to play this type of strategy.
I actually feel like this style of play I associate most with Zest of any other player in StarCraft 2.
Okay.
I mean, if I'm remembering correctly, I know it was several years ago, but I mean, he was the guy that really proved how robust this approach is.
I believe you're correct. Back on the Overwatch, I think, is where we started to really see this build. And it got to the point where Zergs were like just straight countering with mass speed roach and trying to bust down third bases. But yeah, that was during the period where Zest was the best in the world. The thing is, he actually pioneers a lot of the Protoss builds, so people like make fun of me for saying how good he is and how I always think he's going to advance. The thing is, if you look at actually what he's done for Protoss and how much of what we do revolves around what he's done, it's really impressive.
Are you surprised he went with the DTs immediately here, since this was scouted? Was this one of these moves where it's like, well, obviously he's just going to go straight into Archons because the Dark Shrine was scouted, and so he's trying to like do that mind game of like, you never would think this is coming because it's so counterintuitive.
Yeah, I think it is a little bit of that. And I mean, look, he got a little bit of damage done, right? He got a couple drones. He didn't do a whole hell of a lot, but you may as well. As the queen count grows, you're not going to get a lot done with the Archons anyways. Kind of put the fear of God into him, right? He's not mining from over here. Something funny about stuff like that. I don't know.
Yeah. So he's going to try to bring the Archons over here. Now, the goal is to not lose any queens or drones. Really good control here by Zest.
Yeah.
Oh, until the last second. Okay, Fantastic. He does get a pickup, kills the queen.
I like it. I really like that. All right, got to move over and see what he can get done in the main.
War Prism still with plenty of HP.
Interesting that Ragnarok is not targeting the Prism much.
Yeah.
He hit the Archon several times with the Queen, and that feels completely useless.
Oh my God!
Those stacked drones, if he had targeted that could have been so scary.
Would have popped everything.
Okay, so this is, I mean, it's getting all right damage done. Dive on that Queen. Great micro from Zest here. Look at that. 2 queens killed, 5 drones killed.
I get nervous every time I see Ragnarok with these drones bunched up and the Archons are so close by.
I know, right? Spire incoming, yes!
Yeah, this is cool. And this seems to be like happening as the War Prism harass is being toned down a little bit here. Because Zest doesn't have that much more energy on those Archons.
Yeah.
So you get one more DT? Huh, okay.
Yeah, he actually had another DT out. I don't know what happened to it.
Oh, did he? I didn't see that.
So I believe he likely has 2 DTs on the map right now, unless he lost one during the Archon harassment. Okay, just keeping a little bit of pressure on.
This is very cute. Unfortunately, not quite doing as much as I think he had hoped for. He's going to actually recall that DT back. Oh, my God.
Yeah, very worthwhile. Is he going to get another queen?
Yeah, he is.
Are we serious about this?
I don't feel like Ragnarok's defense, execution-wise, is where it should be.
It feels... Yeah, I definitely somewhat agree, and I want to give a shout-out to Zest's harassment, because... Now, you know, when he dropped the initial DTs out, he was focusing queens a little bit and putting some damage on them, and then he just aggressively juggled his Archons towards queens the whole time. So if pickup range is an issue because queens will shoot you down, instead of drones, focus on queens a bit more. And it feels like that's what I'm seeing from Zest. Okay, he sees the mutas now. This is Danger City. See this? Serious Danger City. Look at this. The Roach is coming too. This is like chasing a medevac with Ling Muta, man. Look at this.
All right, so he's going to finally be able to take out both those Archons. It's actually pretty important you keep the Archons alive and the War Prism alive.
Yeah. What's his anti-air right now? It's 3 sentries and a Stalker.
Ragnarok with excellent muta timing here.
Yeah, doing very well with that. Obviously, when you go for a DT-based Archon drop, it's like you don't have anything that's anti-muta. Like, the Archons are really it, so catching that Prism is a gigantic thing, because... for instance, most walls that you have as Protoss, you can't walk Archons through, so you have Archons on one side or the other. And to defend against mutas properly, like, if you have Archons in a Prism, you can actually kind of chase mutas with it. You know? You can kind of... It's a reasonable defense.
Okay, this forces out a lot of Stalkers, which allows a Zerg to very comfortably make a lot of Zerglings here. Again, a lot of times as you see these games progress, it's them both trying to force certain techs out so that they can try to counter that later on.
And with the 2 Stargate Phoenix coming up and the kind of late splash damage, I love the Baneling speed. We talked about that previously as well. You know, it just... getting into this kind of massive army when your opponent is spending money on Phoenixes is always going to be nice. It's not the Blink Stalkers that we were talking about exactly, but just the massing of these lower tier units feels very nice.
And this is all designed to ramp up to a maxed out Zerg that, if and when the Protoss does come out, the Zerg is ready to have a smashing attack.
Lingroach Bane Ravager, like a maxed out army of that, Phoenixes don't really do much of anything.
Yeah, they don't play much of a role.
Yeah,
so
like,
the idea is just as there's enough Phoenixes, which we're seeing now, to counter nice control here by Zest. Just when there's enough Phoenixes out to basically counter the Mutas, that's when the rest of the supply is going to be filled up with this big ground army, and it basically makes the Phoenixes fairly useless.
Yeah, the best you can probably do here is lift up Ravagers, maybe Queens. I think picking up Banelings might be a waste of your time. But yeah, if the Banelings mostly are hitting Archons, you can definitely see Zest taking down this battle. It's just, if this army all connects correctly, the Zerg army, it is pretty scary still.
Okay, here we go. Ragnarok coming around here. Really good force fields, blocking out a lot of these Banelings.
Oh, but more Banelings roll in.
Yeah,
Zealots being absolutely
such
decimated.
a ridiculous number of Zerg units here.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
I mean, when you have force fields that were that good and he runs over you with this much, jeez.
No, the force fields were really, really good, so that's impressive. I love that he's actually forcing these back. This means a DT-based defense might actually keep Zest alive. There's like no detection over here. See that? What are you going to do? You got one Baneling there.
Yeah, this is a lot of DT action in this game.
That is so funny. He's killing off all the Overseers. This is like DT Corsair. Seriously.
Yeah, actually.
Where's the detection? He's got to build spores at this point defensively.
It's
After
so funny.
crushing that army.
I thought the game was about to end. I still think we're not far from that.
Yeah, but
yeah.
Cool to see, right?
I love it. Oh my god, he has a DT in every single base. Please tell me Zest will win this game in the greatest comeback of all time.
It's insane if he wins this, but it's completely based off DTs and Phoenixes.
Well, once you get that detection, I guess he could send the Phoenixes back here. Oh my god, what is happening to Ragnarok?
Every drone in the whole universe.
Why are we getting like the esports fan fiction game? Like, this is not how StarCraft games normally look at the highest level.
No.
And then 2 DTs killed all of his workers. What?
I'm like, what league is this again? Oh, it's GSL Codes.
Yeah.
They're fighting for a round A spot right now.
Yeah. Look at this.
And there were no overlords left.
He was maxed out and then he lost everything.
Yeah. Okay. So that happened. We're back down to some lower worker supplies at this point.
You know what's going on in Ragnarok's head right now? He's so salty.
It's like, this race is so
when you're playing and you're just like, I am so bad. This is so bad. Like, I can't believe this is me. This is my mind and body in this moment right now.
Yeah, everyone goes through that for sure. All right, 3 Broodlords on the way. Not an Infestor in sight, though. Obviously, the Broodlords are helpful here. 3 Archons can't really break through that, right? I think he holds.
Well, hold on.
Yeah.
Well, now you have the break. Well, hold on. The Phoenixes are going after these Broodlords. He's got a lot of Zealots and Archons. If he can get the Archons underneath the Broodlords, then yeah, he can actually get this. Look at this.
Yeah, he's not doing too bad, actually. Gets all
He's
the
got
broods.
a Warp Prism. He's going to be able to warp it again. He's going to get the Corruptors. Now the Phoenixes are going to be left over. Look at this.
Yeah.
Ooh.